getting my notes. Okay, so today is not going to be quite as funny a video as I usually put up because I just have like some thoughts that I felt like I needed to share, or I wanted to share, really. So you already know by the title, you already know what's going on. I'm going to talk about the garbage that was Insatiable. I watched the first episode, so you do not have to because it sucked. For those of you who did not see it, I will recap it for you. You meet Patty. Patty is in the fat suit. She is getting made fun of at school. They call her fat. She has to run a lap. There's a boy that asks if she is okay because she gets hit in the face with a ball. She then asks him out on a date and he is like, oh, you think because I'm nice to you? Oh, and then like scurries away. Then she's sitting outside of this gas station. A drunk homeless man comes up, asks for her candy bar. She says no. He calls her a fatty. So she punches him and then he punches her back and breaks her jaw. Meet a lawyer and he is clearly a closeted gay man. They make him out to be with the fashion, the comments, they just stereotypically Hollywood closet gay man. Patty then falls in love with this lawyer who everyone in town thinks is a child molester, to which Patty says she might actually have a chance with this person that she loves so much all of a sudden, which was, you know, so cleverly written. Patty decides she wants to get revenge on the homeless man who punched her because he was at an AA meeting. So she decides to seduce him and attempt to sexually assault / rape him until he basically falls asleep and she's unable to do so, to which she then wants to light him on fire and stops to call and tell the lawyer that she would like to be a pageant girl. And that was the whole episode. Now you have it recapped for you. I did wait to make a video on this because I wanted to watch the first episode because like it is true that trailers can be deceiving. We don't like 100% know what's gonna happen, but I already had my feelings towards the trailer before, and then I waited and I was like, I'm gonna watch the first episode. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't make me happy that this is happening, but I love being right. So when I saw this trailer, I was pretty annoyed by it. I was pretty pissed off on what I saw. I was pretty disappointed in Netflix. I was pretty just agitated that yet again we have another of these cheap shit comedies where there's a girl in a fat suit and it's just like the whole punchline is that she's big. And so I sort of had a rant on Twitter and not everybody agreed with me, and that's fine, you don't have to. But like when you're a fat person, when you're a fat woman especially, like I know that it, like, you want to say that it's satire, it's comedy, it's just a joke, you know, everybody gets made fun of. But when people think about fat women, they think about Shallow Hal and they think about Norbits and they think about those fat suits because there's so little representation of fat and fat happy women in Hollywood, in the media. It's frustrating. I understand that you can't put the responsibility of the way that everyone is going to take a show or a song or a movie on a writer, but you still have responsibility. You know, it does not matter what the intention is, it matters what happens afterward. And if the fat community and fat women are telling you, don't make this, we don't want to see this, then maybe you need to take a step back. You aren't allowed to write my story and misrepresent me and then say, oh, it was just a joke, when you get backlash for it. Trailer was garbage and the show was even worse. And now on top of it, the show's writers are trying to say that it was the it was the backlash on Twitter that's causing their show to fail rather than their terrible writing and terrible choices. You made a choice to make this and you had to live with the fact that people did not like the garbage that you put out on Netflix. So sucks to suck, I guess. Part of what frustrated me about Insatiable is after there was a backlash for the trailer, they went to the excuse of, well, this is the writer's life. She's telling her story. It's not fair for you to cut her down because this is her story. Well, that's not even remotely close. This is not her story, okay? In this show, she murders 3 people. There's no possible way that this is the writer's story. Maybe there are bits and pieces, maybe there are moments that are overlapped, but you're telling an entirely different story. So sitting here and being like, well, it's my story, it's what I went through, to try to like shield yourself from the responsibility of what you put out there is garbage. Let's just get it out of there, is the fat suit. Fat suits are so fucking annoying. You don't need them to show like a body change whatsoever. You could show all the bullying that happens to a main character through their eyes and never once show a person in a fat suit, and you would tell the exact same story. So when you use a fat suit, you're being lazy. All you are doing is saying, I'd rather just write this as a joke and write it as something that other people can laugh at than take this moment seriously for this person that I'm trying to represent. And it's just so lazy. Like the dark comedy, like where is this comedy? Where is it funny? Because it's relying on fat jokes, child molester jokes, and things that had to constantly be explained in the show. If you have to explain your joke, it means it's not good. All the fat jokes in this show, the stuffing my hole, the I'm still the same fatty inside, the no one ever calls me pretty, well, he's a child molester, so maybe I have a chance with him, that joke was particular garbage. They were just as unfunny and shitty as the ones that got hurled at me in middle school. You didn't make it a clever, you know, talking about a hard subject. All you did was reinforce the thing that already happens to fat people and then made that person just an asshole. Like, I will give it that this show did not make you feel bad for Patty. Like, that was kind of the point, is nobody in this show you should feel bad for because they're all terrible, but you still took that first moment to like make you feel bad for this character, and then like you still use that hardship that fat people have to go through to get you connected to this character, and it was unnecessary. So again, you fat shamed her. The best joke in that whole thing is when the lawyer calls Regina just because he doesn't like her. Like, that was the only time that there was any sort of like cleverness thrown in, and that was still pretty like garbage middle school level comedy. I'm not sensitive about being fat. I make a ton of fat jokes to myself all the time. I'm perfectly comfortable in my body. I love my body. I recognize, you know, that everybody gets made fun of sometimes. Whether or not I agree with it is a different story, but like, you know, I'm not sensitive. It's just tiring because that's all you see. That's all you see is fat women that are losing weight and now they're happy. Fat women that don't lose weight but have to prove to everybody their worth and then they're happy. Or shit like this, where it's a thin person in a fat suit. And that is about all that represents me in the media as far as being a fat woman goes. So you can kind of take your, oh, you're just being sensitive, and shove it up your ass. Another part of this show that really annoyed the shit out of me is something that doesn't just happen to fat women, it happens to all women. So I feel like everyone will kind of know what I'm talking about here. But in this show, the moment she meets this lawyer that takes her case pro bono, she goes on and on about him being her white knight and how she needed him and she needed him to have this in her life. And the whole episode is sort of around this idea that Patty needed this lawyer to come into her life. So she not only needed to get thin to get revenge, she also needed a man to save her. Why are you so lazy? Like, why is this such lazy writing? I guess I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't know. My thoughts basically on Insatiable are the trailer was garbage and the show was even worse. I know this video wasn't as funny and as comical as most of my other videos, but it wasn't really supposed to be about that. I was just frustrated and I felt like I wanted to sort of get my thoughts out there, and it was just you know, maybe somebody will see this, and when they decide to write a show, they're not gonna put a thin person in a fat suit and make them out to be an asshole that sexually assaults people and murders them to get revenge because she was so upset about being fat. So maybe this will do some good, or maybe it's just gonna feel really nice to post it on YouTube. If you wanna see more of what I do, there you can follow me. If you want to see more of me, you can follow me at all of these different places. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. So if you are not subscribed, why not? Do you know there's 90% of you, according to my app, that have not subscribed to my channel? You're here. I mean, look at how cute I am. For you. Hit the subscribe button. You know you want to see how cute I am next week. Anyways, that's everything for this video. Stay mad, stay calling people out, stay fat. I love you. Bye.